Modern society operates on a specific script. We are expected to be constantly accessible, highly visible online, and surrounded by a wide circle of friends. When someone deviates from that script, by deleting social media, taking long walks in silence, or sitting quietly in a group, they are often labeled as aloof or antisocial. Judging these behaviors strictly by their surface appearance ignores the complex activity happening inside the mind. A highly intelligent, overclocked brain utilizes these quiet, isolating habits as necessary defense mechanisms. A high-performance engine must deliberately cool itself down to prevent overheating. This same biological principle explains why an intelligent mind prioritizes isolation over constant interaction. Driven by hyperconnectivity, one piece of information triggers a cascading expansion of interconnected ideas. The brain simultaneously processes a speaker's tone, underlying emotion, and logic. Analyzing subtext at this depth requires immense processing power, rapidly draining mental energy. Every brain has a limited daily supply of cognitive bandwidth. An overclocked mind burns through this supply much faster than average during social situations. Because their mental energy is a scarce resource, highly intelligent individuals instinctively treat every social interaction as a calculated expense. This scarcity leads the brain to instinctively cut off low-value data. Small talk, for example, is discarded to preserve energy for conversations that offer genuine depth. Deleting social media apps functions as a similar strategy to reclaim focus from the random dopamine manipulation used to keep users hooked. After cutting off external noise, the sensitive nervous system requires prolonged periods of solitude to fully recover. During this recovery, habits like talking out loud to oneself serve as cognitive offloading, a structured method for organizing complex thoughts and clearing mental noise. Seeking absolute isolation, dropping off the digital grid, and talking to yourself provide the mandatory biological recharges needed to prevent system failure. We can better understand this depth by looking at what happens when a mind lacks this internal processing power. This animation illustrates cognitive rigidity. While an intelligent mind shifts and adapts to fit new, abstract shapes, a rigid mind views the world in black and white terms, rejecting information it cannot easily categorize. In arguments, this rigidity manifests as loud, absolute certainty. Lacking the capacity for nuance, these individuals often rely on volume rather than logical evidence. Without the ability to process internal complexities, the rigid mind often points to an external locus of control, blaming luck or society for problems instead of finding internal solutions. Loud, aggressive certainty and the demand for a spotlight often stem from a mind too rigid to sustain itself through internal reflection. As a highly intelligent mind matures, it becomes unresponsive to the standard dopamine spikes triggered by social attention. This graph shows how external validation eventually loses its ability to reward the brain. When likes and followers no longer register as meaningful rewards, performative events like massive birthday celebrations begin to feel draining rather than exciting. Instead of external celebration, time passing triggers a quiet process of deep reflection. This marks a transition toward an internal locus of evaluation. The individual judges success by their own uncompromising standards, and external data points simply bounce off this foundational sense of self. Stepping away from the crowd and ignoring societal milestones is the natural result of self-worth outgrowing the need for an audience. Forcing a deeply complex mind to operate by the shallow rules of modern society is a direct path to mental exhaustion. True intelligence has nothing to do with dominating a conversation or being the most visible person in a room. Intellectual power is forged by ruthlessly protecting your mental bandwidth, ensuring you have the energy required for deep creation and authentic thought. If you actually possess these quiet, isolating habits, you should deliberately protect them as truly rare psychological strengths. By understanding the architecture of our mental bandwidth, we can stop apologizing for our silence and start appreciating the incredible depth